Do you want to intro it or me? We don't even have to intro it. There's no intro. Let's actually just start right now.
Just start talking.
Yeah. How's it going, man? You've been going through it, huh?
Yeah.
Let's just jump right into that. Can you just give? Well, first of all, I'm getting ahead of myself. It has been 3 weeks since our first episode.
It's been a minute.
So one episode in and we already failed whatever schedule we were trying to do, but we're back and I think we have a good reason. Tristan, what has the last week been for you?
Okay, first off, before we start, my name's Tristan Bailey. I had someone complain that we didn't introduce ourselves at first. I'm Tristan Bailey. I'm a co-host. This is your host,
Jacob Wheeler. Have we not said our names at all?
I think we said our names in the last. I can't remember. Yeah, someone pointed out they're like, yeah, I didn't know who was talking the whole time.
Oh man.
The video, we have a video version this time.
The sexier voice is Jacob. Okay.
True.
Continue.
So it should be easier. But yeah, so in the last 2 weeks, it started with first I lost my wallet, which I found, by the way. Which that was a plus. But first I lost my wallet. All my stuff was inside. And then after that, my car decided to say, you know what, I don't want to really work that well anymore, and it's possibly the transmission. So super cheap.
Give the price range of the cost of repairs that you gave me
So
earlier.
I called up the transmission people, and they said that it can range from $1,000 to $7,000. So that's like, he might as well just said, yeah, it can range from costing money to costing a lot of money.
Right.
And that would have been enough.
Yeah, the floor on that is very
Yeah,
high.
it's very high.
Not
up
starting
there.
off great.
And then after the car, it ended up my apartments were like, hey, you need to pack your shit and get out of here within the next 2 weeks. So yeah, that's been my week so far. Way to interrupt.
And it sucks though because like when your move out date has to be, I'm gonna be out of town in Colorado
Convenient.
for work, which sucks. So you have to move out like 6 days before then anyway. So that way I can actually help you.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as this apartments approve me, if they do, I'm moving in like as soon as possible.
Right.
Like if they say, hey, you're approved, I'm like, cool, give me a key.
Yeah.
Like right now. Here's all the money you need. Give me a key. I need to start packing. I still have not started packing at all.
I feel that.
Because like I have to be out, but there's no if I don't find a.
Yeah. Whenever I moved out of my last apartment, I didn't start packing until like 2 days before, and I ended up just like packing while I was moving everything. Like I would just get boxes, throw everything in there, and then just throw it in the truck. It was not well thought out at all. And moving could have been done like 2 days earlier, but
Nice.
with all the procrastination, didn't do shit. But other than that, what else has been going on?
Nothing much in my life. I saw Eternals without you because God forbid you go to a movie with me.
I know. I'm so sorry.
I'm just.
How was
messing
it
with you.
though? Reviews aren't good.
Yeah, I could understand the reviews. It's not that it was a bad movie. By all means, I enjoyed the movie. There was something about it that didn't leave me like, wow, like that was like the Eternals. Like I can't wait to
Right.
see it again. Like I could go a while without seeing it again.
What was the premise? Because I haven't even seen the trailer for it.
Oh, you don't even know what it's so basically the Eternals were brought to Earth, like, spoilers just in case. I might just spoil it for him because he never fucking watches anything.
Yes, I do.
But just in case I accidentally spoil something. Spoiler warning. But it's about these people, these Eternals sent to Earth by the Celestials, which are basically the cosmic gods of the MCU.
Okay.
So they were sent on a ship called the Domo. It's this cool little arrow rectangle. It's a weird shape, but it's cool. And they're sent to Earth like 7,000 years ago, like during like the first like
Set of
known like civilization, like that was just starting out.
Damn.
And they have all their own. There's 10 of them, and they all have their own personal set of powers.
Mm-hmm.
And they are put on the Earth not to interfere. They can't mess with any human affairs. Like they can't, like if there's a war or whatever, they can't like help them win it or a certain way. They can just kind of nudge a little bit.
Right.
but their main goal is to kill and protect deviants, which are like they're just like the Eternals, but like they're like more. They were the first set of Eternals that were set to get rid of the predators of the Earth. But when they got rid of the predators on Earth, they became the predators. And so the whole point of the Eternals being on Earth and doing what they need to is they need the population, the human population, to grow. And the deviants,
want to stop that from happening.
Yeah, they're not doing it. So the Eternals are on the Earth. They did stuff, use their powers for whatever to fight the deviants, and then I think in the 1500s they had thought they killed all the deviants, and so they went their separate ways until current MCU after Thanos' snap and everything.
Right.
There's 6 days until something called the Emergence that the Celestials prepared them for. That's why they were on Earth. That's once it's done, they can leave.
Oh wow! So they've been planning for that day for a long time.
Yeah, but they've all had their own lives on Earth, and they've all grown attached to humans and all that. They became human, and so that becomes a problem. And then other things happen, and it's just they're basically trying to stop the emergence. They don't want it to happen because it will destroy the Earth.
Well, the premise sounds really cool.
Yeah, it's a good idea. I'm excited to see what the characters, because it's like it really opens up the MCU to a much bigger spectrum, right. Which is amazing. The cast is great. I do love the cast. They have. Did you watch Game of Thrones?
Yes, the whole thing.
So they have. What's his name? Jon Snow. What's his actor name? Do you know? It's on the top of my head.
I'm gonna look it up right now. Kit Harington.
There's Kit Harington and Richard Madden are in it. Kit Harington is more he's supposed to be a character called the Black Knight. This blade called the Ebony Blade gets passed down through generations in his family. So that's like his character, but he doesn't become that character in the movie. But he has a relationship, a love interest with Cersei, one of the Eternals.
Oh, okay.
One of the new leaders and stuff. And then there's Richard Madden, who's the strongest. He's like the Superman of the Eternals. His name's Icarus. All of the Eternals are also named after like mythological
creatures and
like people.
Things.
Like there's one called Athena, named after Athena, the goddess of war, and Cersei, all that fun stuff.
Real original guys.
Yeah, and it becomes kind of, without spoiling too much, like a Greek tragedy.
One thing I absolutely needed to talk to you about was, have you heard about this Travis Scott thing with Astroworld and how crazy that was?
Yeah, did you see his
his fucking
god awful apology video?
Dude, he was like playing with his hair, like he did not. Yeah.
To all the families working.
He did not.
He
look like he gave a fuck.
He doesn't give a fuck. I mean,
well, there's videos like there's angles of him looking at the people getting carried out, and he's just like harmonizing with his autotune. He's like, yeah, like while they're going out, he's watching them leave. And I mean, there are times when you can stop a show and you can kind of feel what's happening in your crowd, and like thousands of people were screaming to stop the show.
Yeah,
and he wouldn't listen.
I don't know what was going on. He was just trying to get his bag, but it's like, don't you have like enough money? Just like, not gonna hurt you to just say, no amount of money is worth another person's life. So you should. Yeah. I don't know why he did, because he was looking. He could have easily just been like, hey, yo, everyone, like, let's calm the fuck down. Let's take, because like they'd listen to him.
Yeah.
Like he had the biggest voice there. Management could have been all like, hey, we need to shut this down, and then all that. But Travis Scott would have been the easiest, fastest, just like, hey, cut that shit out.
Yeah. He could have like had the lights go on, like the floodlights, like way earlier. It was not a good look.
I just can't believe it was just like it was a concert. Like it's like Travis Scott, like no hate to him. Well, full hate to him for what he did and didn't do. But no hate to his music. I don't not like his music, but like it is not worth all of that craziness that went down.
Exactly.
It is his little it's fucking auto-tune bullshit that sounds the same.
It's rough. And like aside from doing the right thing and stopping the show just because that's the good thing to do, if you were to stop the show and like all these cameras are filming you stop the show and caring about your audience, you get the money you lost, you would get back in respect from thousands of people, just because like people love when artists can love their fans and
Yeah,
can really
it's
feel what they're feeling.
you get more. You get if you're an actual good person, and you're not just doing this fake. Hey, I'm just acting like a good person because I'm famous. You good things would happen. Shit like this wouldn't happen. If he would just legitimately gave a shit about his fans, then or about people in general. If he gave a shit about anybody besides himself, it wouldn't have happened. Something horrible like this. Those people wouldn't have lost their lives for a shitty, overpriced concert.
Yeah, it's really rough, and I don't I definitely don't buy the narrative of the whole satanic thing. That is I don't know if you've seen that on TikTok, but it's been all over TikTok.
Satanic thing.
People were trying to pair a demonic pairing with him and Travis Scott during the concert because I guess while people were getting carried out, he was doing that low octave, and I guess that's the lowest octave, and that's how you speak. I'm not very well spoken in this, but that's how you speak to the devil. How the cross was a backwards cross facing into the portal where he came out with.
People, especially from someone who's a part of the MCU fan base, people are fucking crazy. They look way into way too many details. It's just like not that deep.
Some of the videos of not the crisis and like before things went really south, the festival looked really fun, and like I know like I put a lot of the blame on Travis Scott for what happened because I mean he's like the head guy. He saw the audience. He could have stopped it. It was his event. But it was just as much on the people who rushed the crowd anyway, because they had a people capacity. There was a max limit, and people were jumping the fence, rushing the stage, and the people that were in the pit and had enough space didn't have that space anymore. So it's just as much on them.
The fans are not at all innocent. No, they're the dumbasses who put other people in danger, ones that weren't even trying to participate in the stupidity that they were doing.
Yeah.
Those people that were the reason those people got trampled or killed are just as much, but they, even if they had decided, okay, we're a little too far, you can't control everyone. Not everyone gives a shit. But Travis, he had even though he wasn't doing the stupid shit, he had the power to stop it. That's why Travis, it was his event, his responsibility. Because you can't. Fans are they're just dumb people. They're overwhelmed with the excitement of being at a concert. Most of them are probably drugged up or drunk, and it's just they're not in the right mindset. It's for the management team and the host of the event to make sure that if shit like, because I know that people they prepare you for shit like that to happen. They don't just like, hey, I need you to dance on stage and we'll worry about the thousands of people in front of you. Like, no, they make sure that if shit like that happens, you should do something, but they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, someone could have totally gotten in Travis's ear too and told him if he didn't know earlier, but like the people who rushed the crowd are just as much his fault, but people cannot lose sight of the fact that Travis saw it early on and he should have absolutely stopped the show instantly. And I'm sure it's a reaction to the Travis Scott thing, but I've been seeing in my For You page so many clips of other artists stopping their show and people start passing out in the crowd. Because I mean, it does happen. Like you get dehydrated, and you know there's a lot of people bumping you, pushing against you. You're sweaty, you're hot. So like a lot of people pass out all the time. But there's so many other times where artists have stopped the show and brought the lights on and like right in the middle of their song and helping the fan get out or giving them some water. It's
I saw a clip where they were showing an example. Something was going on in the crowd, and the artist just stopped and he just like, "Hey, move the fuck back! Like, hey, y'all calm the fuck. Hey, cut the shit. Like, y'all come get off of her. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?" And he was like insulting him because it's just like because he's insulting not his fans but the people that are being disrespectful and being stupid and putting people in harm's way. And he didn't hesitate. He was just all like, "Hey, can y'all fucking like what the fuck are y'all doing?"
Right.
Like it was that easy.
Yeah. Like there was this here. I'm gonna show you a few clips. This is a. Alright, listen up, Portland. First things first. If you see something... Oh wait, no. Sorry. Hold on, I'm gonna show you another one. Here's this. Here's Tyler Joseph.
Of course, it's Tyler Joseph.
Instantly, here's security. that was one person. I know that's a smaller venue, but one person screamed security. He was able to pick up on that and stop the entire show.
Like, didn't even hesitate. He was just all like, "Stop! What's going on? What do I need?
Yeah,
What do y'all
there's
need?"
thousands of people yelling, "Stop the show!" Yelling security. You could see security guys in panic. Like, I'm so tired of seeing people online say that Travis didn't know, because like Billie Eilish, the show, she stopped several shows, and her audience was just as big as Travis's crowd was. Yeah, it's fucking crazy though. Crazy.
Well, on a brighter note, I think you know what I wanna talk about next.
What do you want to talk about?
What is the number one anticipated thing this year? The best thing to happen to me since I don't know, because good things don't happen.
Spider-Man?
Fuck Spider-Man.
Okay, let's do it.
Fucking Spider-Man.
What's new in the hood?
The poster, the official poster, although it didn't really give us any new information, it still is a really sexy.
Boom.
It doesn't really give us any new information. We knew about Doc Ock, Electro, Green Goblin, but this is the first time we really get to see Green Goblin's like full.
It's crazy.
Green Goblin, like that's Willem Dafoe's, and it's just insane to me that this is next month.
Yeah.
Like
all the hype.
These villains are the villains that got me into Spider-Man. Like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield, like these are the Spider-Man that I've known my whole life.
My question is, this is like Marvel's new Endgame. Like this is like that hyped of a movie.
This is the director John Watts said it's Spider-Man's Endgame. So
like what is I guess my question is, what is Marvel's move after this movie goes? Because that's Spider-Man's third movie. That's Tom Holland's third movie. The trilogy's done.
3. I mean, Thor's doing a 4th movie next year.
And he's definitely going to stay in the universe, right? Tom Holland for a long time.
So, not definitely. I think that's the whole debate right now. Kevin Feige said that he isn't going to put us through what we went through last year, wondering if Spider-Man was going to be taken out of the MCU. He said, I don't want to put the fans through that again. So, because there's a lot of theories right now that this movie is going to be used to get Tom Holland out of the MCU, because the Sony Spider-Man universe is building up a Sinister Six. They came out and said that that's what they're doing, is they want a Sinister Six for Spider-Man. We have Venom, who is in the MCU right now, but there's no connection. People are pretty sure that he's not going to be in this, but it would be so weird to bring him into the MCU just to kick him back out.
Right.
So I don't know why people think that he's not going to be in the movie. I mean, maybe he won't be for very long. But we have Venom in the Sonyverse, and the I believe it's Morbius, the vampire. His movie is in January, and he's in the Sonyverse. Even though it's kind of weird, because in the Morbius trailer, there's hints of every single Spider-Man universe in it.
Right.
You have MCU Vulture that's in it. You have a picture painted on the wall of Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, with murderer written across it, which is Tom Holland's storyline. And then you have the same Oscorp symbol as Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man.
Oh, so sexy.
So it's just like all of these Spider-Man. So that's still confusing. But then they also have a Kraven the Hunter casted. Aaron, I'm terrible with names.
Same.
Aaron Taylor Johnson, I believe is his name, the one who played Quicksilver in the MCU. Voltron.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's Kraven. So you have Kraven. So that's three plus Vulture. Because Vulture was in there too. So that's 4 of the Sinister Six already in the Sonyverse. So it would be weird to have the Sonyverse be a separate universe while also having Spider-Man in the MCU. And I guess he could do a Sinister Six by jumping over there, but I mean it would be a repeat of what's going on here, but less.
Right, just at a much lower scale.
Yeah, I mean it'd still be cool, because I like the way Sony's doing, where we're really getting the villain's story first. Like we're getting we actually get to connect with the villains and see a good part of them,
that is nice. Of them. Yeah,
which the Raimi films had to do in a short, in between all the Spider-Man stuff that was the main storyline. They would also be like, here's Doc Ock and his connection with Peter, he's a mentor and he's a good guy, he loves his wife. But bam,
Yeah.
was a dickhead.
Throwing the whole
Or
thing
Willem
away.
Dafoe being his best friend's dad and like showing him that it's just like it's stuff like that. That's cool what they're doing with the story, but I don't know how they're gonna do it and keep Holland in the universe. Holland says that he doesn't know if he's coming back to this character. Him, Zendaya, and Jacob Batalon. They're not sure if they're coming back to their characters. And Tom Holland said if he were to return, it would be a whole different tone and it'd be a whole different take on Spider-Man. Like it wouldn't be like
not the same storyline.
Like he said, it wouldn't be the trilogy anymore. Like the trilogy would be done, the home stuff, all that, Homecoming, Far From Home. That would be the end of that section.
So it would be a continued version. Just
it would be like it would still be his character, but it'd be. He said it would tonally change. So maybe
okay.
And maybe that could be a hint that he's going to the Sonyverse, and so that tone's a lot darker over there.
That'd be fun.
I would love that. I mean, the Morbius and Venom, based off the two first villains he's got, it would be nice to see a college Tom Holland.
That'd be huge for Sony to get him.
Yeah, because Sony
bring a lot of fans.
Before Sony loses Spider-Man, they really need to
cash in
all their stuff because this movie is, in my opinion. It's the even if it's not the greatest movie of all time in the sense of it being a actually good movie, if you take out all the nostalgia, would it still be a good movie? Probably not. It's a MCU Spider-Man movie. I love the movies, but they're not top tier cinema. But it will be the most hyped, anticipated, most loved movie of all time because you have 20 years, not 10 like Endgame, and Endgame was massive.
Yeah.
You have 20 years of memories and love.
All three generations. Like everyone who loved Spider-Man at any point, like since Spider-Man was created, will love this movie. That's why it's really cool. Like I'm not as deep into Marvel as you, but like how can you not be hyped about this movie?
Dude,
it makes me want to get as deep into Marvel as you are. Like I want to. I just don't know where to begin. Because like oh my God, like you know every detail of everything. And
no,
like, I don't even know where to start.
I know a lot because I watch a lot, but I'm actually dumb when it comes to MCU. Like if you talk to someone,
every time I talk to you, you seem like Stephen Hawking to me of the Marvel universe.
Well, that's just because you're not as into it. But if you talk to someone that's like really into it, like they will surpass me in knowledge, like easy. Like that, I know enough. I know as much as someone who has seen these films as much as I have should know. Like I'm not like super smart or I wouldn't call myself an expert. I can tell you what's going on. That's about it in my theories. Sometimes, and I did talk shit. Maybe I don't know if I talked shit in the last podcast of people how wrong they are when they're like on the podcast or when I hear other people talking about Spider-Man or theories and stuff. Like they'll say stuff that's like, "Are you fucking stupid?" But then I realized being on the podcast and forcing myself to make a conversation or talk about something, I said a few things that were wrong and I don't usually think, but I just said them just because I'm on the podcast.
Right.
So I want to apologize even though I didn't say any names of all the people that I called stupid in a rage, saying why the fuck do they keep thinking that? Because I mean it's easy.
You understand now.
Yeah, I understand how you could just not get the words out, but
it is a weird pressure to like try to keep ourselves talking constantly and like keep a conversation going. Not that this isn't natural, but it is like for anyone like or I guess our hope is to get to a certain point, but like for anyone it's to hold a conversation and you're constantly thinking about keeping the conversation going. Meta as fuck.
Yeah, in our conversations sometimes we'll have this random just pause where we'll just not talk for like 30 seconds.
Right.
Or we'll just and then we'll start talking again. So,
right.
So this one, it's like I feel like I have to constantly feel that space too.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I went to the Renaissance Festival.
Oh.
As a little segue. Yeah, it was I haven't been there since I was in the 6th grade, so it was like 7 years ago, or 8 years ago. Shit. We're getting older, buddy. Anyways, I know like older people are going to listen to this and be like, shut the fuck up, you piece of shit.
You fucking young dumbasses. Right.
But anyway,
we're gonna be those old motherfuckers. When we're old, we're gonna be all like,
yeah,
fuck, why are we stupid?
I'll consider myself old whenever we hit a point with technology where we don't understand it. Like the next episode comes out where it's like, what is it? What the fuck is the point? But anyways, so it was really cool. It was Halloween weekend, so like we were there Saturday and then Halloween was Sunday. So the whole theme for that weekend was Halloween. and it was really cool. It was there was probably like 50% of the people were dressed in their like traditional attire from the Renaissance. Other people were like dressed as in their like Halloween costumes. I did not come dressed this year. If we go next year, I'll probably come dressed because it. I felt very. I was just wearing sneakers and like I just did not feel
You feel like
in
you
it at
stuck
all.
out.
Yeah, but it was like it was fun. But I really do commend the people who plan their whole year around it because like they'll get their whole families together, get a camper, and like camp out there for the whole weekend. And we camped out there, but way more people were so much more into it than we were. And it's just so much walking, and it's exhausting, and it really is just a fun excuse for everybody to get day drunk, and be fucked up. It's like I don't think I saw one sober person there. Yeah, we were just like from like 10 a.m. to whenever we left, we were just drinking, and so that was cool. But by the end of it, I was excited to come back and get a nap in. But yeah, it was. Long story short, it was fun. I'm not necessarily looking forward to next year. If that means
It's fun.
anything.
Would do again.
Yeah.
With maybe a couple years later. Yeah, I went to. I think I've been to the Renaissance Fair one time.
Yeah.
I didn't camp. I just kind of went for the day. And it's super cool. I can see why people are super into it. But like,
Right.
it's just the whole camping out thing. Like, if it was something Marvel wise, then I guess I could probably see myself doing it and it'd be fine. But like, I do not seek out camping. And if I do, it's like one night. Like camping multiple nights, like staying somewhere that isn't my own bed, is hard. It's extremely fucking hard, and it's not comfortable.
Camping is really fun though, I'll say. But
it is.
There's like a line. So like 2 days or 2 nights is I feel like okay. That's a recommended camping trip. Any point after 2 nights, you're hitting the uncomfortable point, and that's where I'm really looking forward to coming home. Is this falling?
No, I thought it was because I was moving my chair. I was like, it looked like it was coming. I was like, oh shit.
Fuck. Our high budget studio, the walls haven't been installed very well, so just don't mind that. It's still under construction.
We're working on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Any past 3 nights, that's when you hit the uncomfortable stage and you can't really enjoy it anymore. That's whenever I'm ready to get back. But
yeah, because
1 to 2 nights is perfect.
My family, when we would go to Oklahoma to see more family, it was like we would get a camper most of the time, or we'd stay with like a family member. But it was like when it was a camper or camping or whatever, it was like we were in the woods, and it was just like it just wasn't a comfortable place to be.
Right.
Which the first night or two, it's like it is whatever, we're seeing family, it's a good time. But when like we would be there for like a week straight, like on the lake or something. Like one time we actually were just in a tent for a week, and yeah, no, I don't, I don't fuck with that. Maybe it's just because it's my family. I didn't really get along with my family, or don't when I have to spend too much time with them. Yeah. I think with friends, I mean, and the right materials and right plans, I think camping for a few nights would be good. I still think even with friends, like after a week, it's just like, okay, like we had our fun. Let's just fucking go home. Like why does it need to go longer than like 3 days? I think 3 days is pushing it. Because like after like maybe 2 days, just because you have fun the first night, you're like, okay, let's try to repeat that fun. And then when you realize that it can't be repeated because the first night was so fun, you just go home.
Yep.
And then
it's all downhill after that first
night.
After
the first night, you're just like, okay, I've peaked. Now it's
people are excited
and trying to recreate that fun the first night for a week straight, it's just gonna get worse and worse every single fucking time.
100%.
Fuck that. No, I don't.
I'm sure I've told you before, but I am a expert camper due to all my years in Boy Scouts.
Boy Scout
You're laughing,
experience.
But I still remember the Scout code.
That's good. I mean, it's a good thing to have under your belt.
Over the course of my Boy Scouts career, we did this like one camping trip where it was below freezing in Idaho, and so we literally had to dig a snow cave and like put the tent on top of it and like insulate ourselves. It was like definitely I didn't know it was traumatizing at the time, but definitely after the fact I knew it was traumatizing because I still remember it to this day of just like the sheer torture that the whole thing was. Just like miserable the entire time. Like they had to put chain link on our car tires because we were like on the edge of a mountain, and like we were sliding off a couple times, and my life could have been over at a very, very
for
young
the
age.
Boy Scouts. Hey, you would have
Would have died of honor, literally.
Yeah.
Out as trustworthy, loyal, helpful,
Hold
friendly.
your badge out. Give this to my wife.
Yeah, bury me with it.
Bury me with it.
So,
Put it
yeah.
back.
But as I've gotten older, camping, I don't think is. It's not necessarily my thing. You're gonna own a movie theater.
I'm just gonna own a movie theater. Shit, I might just be.
That'd be a flex.
I might just like actually like make a movie theater business. Nah, that'd be a cool little.
Dude, that'd be sick.
I feel like I'm talking
Start
too
as
loud.
like a
That would be a cool thing to do.
Start as like a drive-in movie theater. That's not hard to operate. You can just like get a white screen like this, put it on like something cheap, get your LLC, get people out there every weekend. Be really cool.
Yeah, the movies. It's a whole. I don't know what it is about it when you walk in, and then maybe because I'm more of a night person, and when you go to the movies, no matter what time of day it is, it feels like it's night.
When you walk out, you expect it to be.
Yeah, you expect it to be pitch black, even if you went in the morning, which is a weird thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But walk in, that smell of popcorn,
the butter,
oh, just the vibe, the coolness of the theater most of the time.
Well, let's go to a movie after this,
dude. Yes. You still need to see Eternals.
I do.
But yeah, the fucking, and then the theater, the screen. I mean, that big ass fucking screen, seeing a good ass movie with friends, and like Marvel movies, like you see, like you feel the crowd just like reacting, which you can't get at home. When you see the crowd going ha ha ha, or oh shit, like you hear fucking something, and it's a whole different. It's just so good. Nothing. I've never have more serotonin than I do when I'm in the movie.
And not to just bring it back to Marvel, but Marvel alone is able to do that with their fan bases. Because like people enjoy going to movies and seeing one-off storylines, which is great, and there is like a giant market for that, obviously. But Marvel, their fan base, like they love to go together to watch it. Like it's part of the whole being a Marvel fan is seeing those movies together, and like the atmosphere is of being in the theater of opening night or like really early on, like within the first couple days. It's like ecstasy.
So for those who don't really watch Marvel movies and don't know what we're talking about, imagine that feeling you got when you were watching a show as a kid, or if you're married or something and you're watching it with your partner. Imagine like that waiting for the next episode, like whenever the episodes would actually come out every week instead of just all at once now.
Spoiled bitches.
Yeah. But imagine just like that, all that anticipation you have, and then you sitting down with the person that you're watching the show with, and then crazy shit happens and you're sitting there reacting like, oh my God, and then you get to talk about it. I've got to do that basically my whole life. I mean, 2008 Iron Man, like since I was a little kid, I've had these movies to get excited for. And I haven't got to really get into them growing up, but like recently, like it's not just these little episodes you get for a TV show, these low budget TV shows, but it's this big movie experience with that same anticipation and excitement that you get to share with all of your mutuals or your partners and stuff. And it's the feeling. It's why I'm so into it, because there's no feeling like it. Like it's amazing when you go in that, especially with Spider-Man coming out, when we're seeing all of this 20 years of fan service put into one movie. Like that movie theater is going to be the loudest. It's going to be amazing. It's seeing a Marvel movie, being in the movie theaters, nothing tops it.
If it's not too late, buy a ticket and go out and see it. Sounds like we're sponsored by Spider-Man No Way Home.
Right. Everyone's talking about Spider-Man No Way Home. A lot of YouTubers are really like making their mark, covering the news on it and keeping people updated and reacting to it.
Oh, really? Like coming up in the space?
Yeah, like the Cosmic Wonder, the Real Rejects, like they are just like getting super into it and like reacting and giving their 2 cents, and then they're actually like, people are noticing them. They're getting on the trending pages because Spider-Man No Way Home is a trending topic everywhere. And so they're actually getting to make a name for themselves and doing something that they've worked really hard to build. Cool. And it's a great opportunity for everyone. It's just, Marvel's so good.
Yeah, it is. Speaking of niche communities, I know you don't follow basketball that much, which, by the way, I literally try to ask Tristan every single time I see him to come play basketball with me, and he still hasn't, so now I'm putting it on the record.
I've played basketball with him, okay,
it's
plenty of times. It's
probably been like 6 months since the last time we played together.
Yeah, but like, if you could see the rest of me, those of you who know me personally, you know I don't fucking play basketball.
Bro, shut
I
the
don't.
fuck up.
I
You are a good
can't.
rebounder. Shut the fuck
A
up.
good rebounder.
You're a good rebounder, and you literally make all of your shots. Like, if you're within 5 feet from the basket, that's your shit. You make it.
But I fucking basketball, man. I can't keep up with all of y'all who fucking play it so much and have some sort of.
Just get out there more.
Is that a knock?
No. I think it was my fridge.
What do you got in your fridge?
Or Winston. Live animal. Freezing it to death.
But what's going on in the basketball world? Educate me.
So this is actually not about the NBA. So it's funny.
Oh.
I have been linked, like locked in. So like I've literally followed the off season of basketball players. So the NBA off season up until the last couple of years was during the summertime, obviously. But once the pandemic hit, they switched up the season. So there's a 2 months roughly where all of the teams are off, and that's their off season. That's their summertime. During that time, because I've been a fan for over 5 years now, just celebrated my 5th year anniversary as an NBA fan.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah, hell yeah. But now I kind of can like feel the pulse of the news, like the NBA news. So while the players are in the off season, I slowly back out of following the NBA super closely, and I don't really pay attention to it in my feed as much. But as the season starts ramping up, I start ramping myself up by taking in more news. So I'm like locked in right now on Twitter with like Woj and all of the updates on Instagram and shit. Mostly what my Instagram feed is for, but what was I saying? Train of thought lost.
This episode should be titled just train of thought. It should just yeah, gone. It's just fucking non-existent. The train has left the station.
Right. Oh yeah. So I'm locked in terms of following it. So I know exactly what's going on. I have like my opinions about things that are going on, but I have not watched a single game, actual like live game since the NBA has been started, and we're like 10 games into the season. Because I've been distracted. I've been cheating on the NBA.
I thought you were gonna. I've been cheating on my girlfriend.
No.
I have not had time because all these other women and men have been in and out.
Yes.
And it's just they just distract me.
Yes.
But
we lost it. No, but
we saved it. But,
so what the fuck are you doing, dog? Get together. Oh. Fuck.
We got this.
There you go. Anyways, it's not the same, but fuck it.
Yeah, it's we're still fresh. We're still fresh. You said what's been distracting you?
So I've been cheating on the NBA with the YouTube basketball scene, which has for a long time been kind of nothing. Like players have made their name on YouTube, like 50,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers. But within the last year or so, it has really taken a step up. I don't know if it's like with the pandemic and people paying more attention to these things and wanting to find their own little niche community, but people like Nick Grizz and K Showtime and Chris White, Cash Nasty, he's been around for a minute, but they have like these beefs and they do one-on-ones and they meet up and do 5-on-5s. Like it's a real thing, and like they call it park takeovers, and they'll link the park address on their stories, and hundreds of people will come out and like flood the sides of the court, so it looks like a real game. And the action is really cool. The environment, you can really feel it. People are having a good time, and my personal favorite is Devontae Friga. If you're gonna start watching it, I highly recommend watching him because he's probably the most wholesome out of all of them. He really shows his fans love, and the whole point is it's a family environment. So like kids will show up to the court and he'll give out backpacks, or he'll feed people who don't really have a meal to eat right then. It's really cool. That's like his whole thing. He's also one of the OGs, but really cool. I'm waiting for them to come to Houston. They haven't come to Houston in a little while, especially since I've started following the that section of content on YouTube.
So is it like their own little? Are they all like separate, doing their own thing, just playing basketball, or is it like their own little mini YouTube tournament type thing, where they like play against these other basketball players, YouTubers?
There are companies that promote that, and they have Instagram pages with like millions of followers and stuff. But the people who I pay attention to and who's really blowing up the last year or so are the personal accounts. So like they'll pull up to their city's courts and do their own thing, but every once in a while they'll link up with another basketball YouTuber and make that a whole event thing. one of the biggest recently was K Showtime, who's based out of Toronto. He's probably the biggest Canadian basketball YouTuber now, especially within the last 6 months because he's really blown up. And like, mind you, like these guys are still paving the way because the most followed one in this niche community is like 300,000 followers. So it's not that big regardless, but he's the biggest in Canada. He met up with Cam Wilder, who is a Los Angeles hooper, and he has like 100,000 subscribers. But he flew out to Toronto, and it was this whole event thing, and it got a lot of views. And just overall, it's a good time to get into the community if you're interested because
it's
blowing up. It's blowing up, and you can still feel like you're like one of the OGs getting in early. But yeah, really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. Highly recommend.
So you said the 10 games. What's your team in the NBA?
In the NBA, my team right now, well, it's any LeBron team. Any team that LeBron is on, I'll follow. Yeah, I'm shameless about it. I'll follow LeBron anywhere. But my team is the Oklahoma City Thunder because Russell Westbrook used to play on there. Never been to Oklahoma. Never been into Oklahoma City. Never bought any Thunder gear. But whenever I first became an NBA fan, my brother told me that I had to pick a team for my team, and I chose the Thunder because of Russell Westbrook. He was just like a super fun point guard to watch, and I've stuck with him ever since. So I'm still following them super closely. Still have like an emotional connection to them, but I'm watching LeBron win his 5th ring. That's the goal. That's what I've been up to in the basketball world. But for real, like seriously, come play with me because just every once in a while, like like
if it's just me and you, I'll come play. Me and you do a little one-on-one.
Let's do it.
That. I can do that.
Let's get some shots up.
Playing with other people? No.
I mean, I don't play that often either. Like it's really just maybe like once a week, once every couple weeks, and I just try to get out there. My shots just now starting to become like okay.
Yeah, I know you. I know you don't do it consistent.
No, I don't. Fuck you. Fuck you.
That's okay. I mean, like I said, whenever you canceled on the movie thing, I completely understand just planning on wanting to do shit, and then when it's time to do shit, not planning on it anymore.
Yeah,
it's hard
to plan things ahead. It really is.
We got to be spontaneous. We just, especially with everything we've got going on in our lives, it's sitting down and just not doing anything is a blessing, and it is a rare thing to have. Mm-hmm. And so but you also, it's been a while since we've been in high school, so our social life is limited to work, which isn't a great social life to have. So whenever friends and stuff want to hang out, it
was out of focus, but I think it'll come back in here. I wanted to fix real quick. It's super focused in for some reason.
So whenever I want to do, like, friends want to hang out, on the rare occasion, I really try to mentally prepare myself. Mm-hmm. Like in the moment when they first invite me, and it's like in advance, I'm like, fuck yeah, like let's do it. That sounds awesome.
That sounds fun.
And then the day comes, I work or I'm being lazy, and I'm just all like, fuck me. It becomes a chore at that point. It's like that's something I have to do. That's my girlfriend.
It's your girlfriend?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Pause
the show.
We're not done. I'm enjoying myself. It becomes a chore, but I do try. I mean, this is fun. I enjoy this. If we were like neighbors or something, or like we were closer and it wasn't such a hassle to, like, if I could come over for like 5 minutes and then be like, you know what, I changed my mind and leave, no problem. But it's the fact that it's like you have to drive. Every time any of us want to hang out, we have to drive so far.
You have to go out of your way.
Yeah,
drive
and
10
then
minutes
once you get there, if you change your mind, it's like it's so rude and so inconvenient to be like, you know what, I'm actually gonna go. I've only been here for 5 minutes and I just drove fucking 30 years to get here.
Right, because then the host will think that you don't, or that you have an issue with them, or that something's wrong.
Yeah,
but it's really just inside. It's like I'm just
like I'm maxed out right now. Like I cannot.
My social media is completely all the way to the right.
But so it's just being social is an absolute bitch.
Mm-hmm. It's honestly a miracle that we were able to make today happen.
It took us 3 weeks, you said, to fucking do this. So after this one, it's fucking you. Yeah. I got a month. Next time we'll talk, it's right after I've seen Spider-Man, most likely. In
our defense, though, we were trying to meet up a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago but then I tested positive for COVID. So that was an issue.
Yeah, we should probably be able to do it more. I mean, if I move, I'll probably move closer.
I'm saying try to move into this complex, make it happen.
I'm just trying to get somewhere. But it's gonna be closer to here because I work so close to here now.
Right. Doesn't make sense to stay in the area you're at.
Plus the area I'm at sucks. So yeah, so we should be able to. I mean, it's just more if we're willing to find time because it's just we both work 90% of the time, and it's just.
Although we're both free most afternoons now, so our schedules kind of line up a little more than they used to.
I do for now. Work only mornings.
Life's a bitch and then you die. That's my favorite. That's my favorite motto. Yeah, if you're lucky.
I've never died, so my luck, I'm probably immortal. I bet if I tried right now, I'd probably live because that's my kind of fucking luck.
Yeah, I feel that, but
damn,
it'll pass though, and then you'll be in the new apartment, and everything's gonna be solid. But yeah, I guess
the next episode we'll see. Either
literally, the next episode will probably be after this whole thing.
Yeah, so next episode I'll probably be either homeless or
10 grand spent on the car.
Yep, 10 grand deep in debt. But yeah, I guess we can end it there.
Yeah,
I don't know how to end. How do we end podcast?
We didn't really. We didn't intro it last time.
I can plug my stuff this time. I know it.
Okay, plug it. Go right ahead.
If y'all want to follow me on any social media, typically it is Marvel_problems with 2 Z's instead of S's. Or it's White Problems, the same thing. White_problems, 2 Z's. Yeah, if you want to find me, I'm hilarious. I'm Marvel Problems on TikTok. I'm funny. It's in the name. I do a bunch of Marvel stuff. If you go too deep on my profile, though, you'll find some sad pick-me boy stuff or just stupid shit on there. Yeah, I basically you'll get to know me better for those who don't know me well or want to just support how funny and hilarious I am. My Twitter, I tweet nothing interesting. I retweet a bunch of mostly anything you follow me for or want to watch anything about me. Just if you want to just see my opinion and what I know about Marvel and learn more about Marvel. But that's on
your way to being the GOAT Marvel reporter. You just gotta start that YouTube channel.
Maybe
gotta get that going.
Maybe in another life.
Fair enough. On social media, I'm just at Jacob Wheeler with an extra B after Jacob. So Jacob with 2 B's.
Jacob.
Wheeler. WHEELER because I spell it out. You motherfuckers.
So you're gonna post this to YouTube?
Yeah,
that's where y'all can find this.
This will be on YouTube and Spotify. The audio version will be on Spotify. So.
For those who actually listened to the first episode, it is on there. It's a little different. I'm hoping this one comes out better. The last one was our first time. He got COVID and everything. It was all super sloppy. We have a better setup, better audio, better everything. So
we've already upgraded by having a video. So we've taken a step up, and hopefully you can see not drastic improvement, but slight improvement with every episode.
Yeah. Next time I won't be going through as much, hopefully, and so we'll probably be a lot more prepared on what we're going to talk about.
Fair enough.
And all that, but
we'll try to do it every week. See what happens.
Yeah, we'll attempt to do it as frequently as possible.
Yeah.
But it is the Lazy Thinker Show. Or podcast.
In the name, it's in the name. We're just not going to be consistent.
Yeah, it's just when it comes to this, we want it to just be relaxed and just
authentic.
Something we just do for fun. So that is our go-to. I mean,
because we're competing against literally every other white man. In the world because everyone has a podcast.
White 20-year-olds. We're
Tough
doing
market.
what every one before us has done, or right now.
So
it's a very corny thing to want to do, but it's just so fun. I mean,
it's fun, and it's a reason to hang out, and it's and who knows? I mean, because we already have more than a podcast now. We have a show just by default with having
we have we have video. Everyone that didn't watch it, that I told to watch it, or I showed y'all the podcast and y'all ignored it, y'all can see us this time. That and on its own should make it easier.
Yeah, get in on the ground worse because we're gonna find our own path one day. Right now we're generic, just like every other podcast, but we're gonna keep experimenting and
it'll get better. It'll get more entertaining.
Yeah, it will. So,
for sure.
Well, thanks for coming over, man. It was fun hanging out.
I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah. Well, all right. We'll see you guys next time. Adios.
Peace.